Hello and welcome to the viewers of this video. This is the Orange Fan here, bringing you another entry for the episode Recap and Thoughts category. This video will be dedicated to the FUNimation dub of episode 105 of Dragonball Super. We begin this episode with the Omni-Kings trying to figure out how many fighters are still participating in the Tournament of Power, but they don't count higher than the single-digit numbers before they decide to just say a lot. Meanwhile, we see Master Roshi walking through the arena, and he's watching other fights that are occurring right now. He comments about how less than half are still participating, so he decides that he should try to eliminate some fighters from the tournament. Shortly after Roshi decides this, he's ambushed by a humanoid green alien with pink hair from Universe 4. This fighter uses energy boomerangs and an energy mallet to try and attack Roshi. According to supplementary material, this fighter's name is Kawe, and she's voiced by Tia Ballard. Roshi is able to avoid these energy weapon attacks, and he comments along the lines about how energy weapons are a unique fighting style. Roshi tells Kawe that he made a point to observe the powers and abilities of all the fighters ever since the Tournament of Power started. While Roshi is talking, we see that Goku is fighting a humanoid blue alien from Universe 3 who seems to be made out of slime. Kawe inquires Roshi if he's aware of her other signature move. She then proceeds to remove her cape and strike a pose. Beerus realizes that Kawe is trying to use seduction, and this leads to Krillin bringing up that Roshi trained to suppress his notable weakness before the Tournament of Power started. But we quickly see that Kawe's seduction does seem to have an effect on Roshi. Old Kai is also affected by Kawe's seduction, much to Shin's embarrassment. Roshi jumps towards Kawe, and this gives Kawe the chance to spring her trap. Kawe creates an energy spear to try and attack Roshi, but Roshi catches the energy spear and destroys it at the last second, and Kawe doesn't understand how someone so old can be so strong. Roshi then transforms into his max power form, and he says something along the lines about how he usually lived by his desires until he suppressed them just before the tournament started, and he comments along the lines about how that pent-up energy is now boiling over like magma. Kawe becomes terrified and jumps off the arena, which angers Katella. Beerus says that was a close call, and Krillin says that Roshi was just acting, but then he admits that he thinks Roshi was just acting, and Krillin is shown to have a nervous expression on his face. Roshi then changes back to his normal form, and he is already aware of the fact that another member of the Universe 4 team is nearby and wishes to challenge him. A humanoid purple fish emerges from the ground, and she's impressed that Roshi was able to detect her. According to supplementary material, this fighter's name is Dare Corey, and she's voiced by Amber Lee Connors. Roshi mentions that he's observed some of Dare Corey's previous fights in the tournament so far, and he calls her the talisman artist of the fourth universe. Roshi then says something along the lines about how she's the perfect opponent to be his next opponent. Dare Corey finds this insulting and launches a fireball towards Roshi, but the Turtle Hermit quickly realizes that this fireball was just an illusion. Dare Corey then launches several talismans around the general area that they're in, and this creates a purple tone on the screen. The best way I can think to describe it is that Dare Corey's talismans have created an illusion dimension. That's the best way that's what I can think to call what Dare Corey created, an illusion dimension. So Derkori has created an illusion dimension, and she says that her Mystic Talisman technique has a total of 76 attacks and 129 illusions. Roshi proceeds to navigate his way through the illusion dimension, but eventually Derkori is able to trap Roshi with a talisman. Derkori says that this talisman can bind an opponent's shadow in order to prevent them from walking or running. Yes, the talisman seems to only paralyze an opponent's legs because Roshi's arms don't seem to be paralyzed and he can still talk. So after revealing what this particular talisman can do, Derkori then talks about her home planet in Universe 4. She says that her home planet is located in a dark area where barely, if any, light can actually reach the planet. And she admits that this means that she has a notable weakness in bright light, but she adds that she's all-powerful when she's in the shadows or the darkness. She then proceeds to transform into a new form. Her hair color seems to be different now, and it looks like she has multiple tentacles on her arms and legs now. Roshi responds that it's a good thing that he's Derkori's opponent, and he pulls out a bottle with symbols on it. Krillin recognizes this bottle. And Roshi then proceeds to explain that his teammates have earnest attacks even though they have incredible power. So Roshi admits that this means that his teammates have a tendency to get blindsided by opponents that use deception. While Roshi is talking, we see that Goku has transformed into Super Saiyan 1, and he's fighting the Slime Fighter still. Roshi then summarizes that his teammates getting blindsided by opponents that use deception is precisely why he is the fighter of the 7th Universe team that is best suited to take on opponents that use deception. Roshi then performs the evil containment wave to trap Derkori in the bottle, and Roshi then tosses the bottle off of the arena. Katella accuses Roshi of cheating for using the bottle, but Beerus argues that Derkori used talismans. This leads to Katella arguing that Derkori's talismans come from her energy, which leads to Beerus arguing that the bottle was just an accessory for Roshi's energy attack, the evil containment wave. So Beerus and Katella begin to argue with each other, or they're continuing to argue with each other over whether or not Roshi's use of the bottle was cheating or fair play. The Omni Kings eventually settle the argument by saying that Roshi using the bottle is safe because it's fun. Shin is grateful that the Omni Kings ruled in favor of the 7th Universe team, but Krillin admits that he's concerned about Roshi because using the evil containment wave on a powerful opponent can drain the stamina of the one who uses the evil containment wave. But Roshi quickly shows the characters from Universe 7 in the spectator seats that he's A-okay. Shortly after that, Roshi is ambushed by yet another fighter from the 4th Universe team. This fighter happens to be the fighter who spied on the 7th Universe team before the tournament started. The Universe 4 spy is angry at Roshi for eliminating 2 of his teammates from the tournament, and he calls those 2 teammates his friends. Roshi accepts the Universe 4 spy's challenge, and the Universe 4 spy proceeds to power up into a new transformed state. The best way I can think to describe the Universe 4 spy's transformed state is that he looks like a muscular bird. I've seen fans debate over whether he looks more like a chicken or a duck or an eagle or a hawk, but I would not be surprised in the slightest bit if some fans have made bird-related jokes about the Universe 4 spy's transformed state. But in any case, the Universe 4 spy has transformed, and he proceeds to try and attack Roshi. But the Turtle Hermit is able to easily avoid and counter the Universe 4 spy's attack. He says that the attack was so predictable that he could see it coming miles away. The Universe 4 spy insists that he just let his anger get the better of him, and he's confident that he can defeat Roshi with a single hit since Roshi is very old. Despite the Universe 4 spy's confidence, however, Master Roshi is able to easily dodge all the attacks that the Universe 4 spy is throwing Roshi's way. And Roshi comments about how the transformation didn't change the Universe 4 spy's fighting style. Roshi admits that the Universe 4 spy is stronger and faster than him, but the Turtle Hermit has the advantage when it comes to experience. Eventually, the Universe 4 spy powers up to surround his fists with electricity, and he seems to be faster too. The Universe 4 spy is now able to land a series of quick counterattacks on Roshi, and because his fists are surrounded with electricity, that means the attacks are even more brutal. Kitella says that Roshi underestimated the youth of the Universe 4 spy and reveals that the spy's name is Ganos. Kitella then explains to Kuru that Ganos becomes stronger over the course of time in extreme conditions, like the Tournament of Power, for example. Goku sees Roshi being attacked by Ganos, and he wants to help his mentor out, but he's currently ensnared by the slime fighter that he's fighting. Ganos makes a smug comment about how Roshi is losing stamina, and Roshi thinks to himself that he needs to eliminate Ganos from the tournament now, or else Ganos could become powerful enough to give even Goku trouble. So Roshi proceeds to use hypnosis on Ganos, but Ganos shocks himself with electricity to snap out of the hypnosis, and Ganos also admits that he would have been defeated by the hypnosis if the hypnosis was performed a little while ago. So Ganos proceeds to attack Roshi some more, and then he says that Roshi may have been impressive in his time, but Roshi has, Ganos claims that Roshi may have been impressive when he was in his prime, but Roshi is past his prime now, and he says that Roshi should just retire and accept his limitations. But the Turtle Hermit responds that his students Goku and Krillin taught him something. Roshi says that his students taught him that it's too early for him to decide his limits, with the way how Goku and Krillin continue to reach new heights to this day. Ganos tries to electrocute Roshi, but the Turtle Hermit is able to transform into his max power form, and he's charging a Kamehameha. Roshi recites the motto of the Turtle School, and he successfully launches the Kamehameha, which blasts Ganos off the arena, which angers Kitella further. Roshi returns to his normal form and collapses from exhaustion. Goku sees this, and he wants to help his mentor, but the slime fighter, voiced by Melly Grant, refuses to release Goku. So Goku transforms to Super Saiyan Blue form to break free of the slime fighter, and he uses instant transmission to reach Roshi, and he uses energy blasts to try and restart Roshi's heart. Goku eventually returns to his normal form, and shortly after he does so, he sees that the energy blasts did succeed in restarting Roshi's heart. Goku hugs the Turtle Hermit in joy. So Goku helps Roshi up, and he's helping Roshi to walk off to a different part of the arena. And then Beerus inquires Krillin about Roshi's name, since Krillin brought up Roshi's name a little while ago, and throughout the course of the episode, Beerus was calling Roshi Old Man or other synonyms. The narrator mentions that 34 minutes remain in the Tournament of Power, and that is how we end this episode. So this episode stands out for being a spotlight episode for Master Roshi. The Turtle Hermit got his chance to shine in this episode, and this episode highlights why Master Roshi was chosen to be a member of the 7th Universe team for the Tournament of Power. Roshi is considerably powerful by the standards of an ordinary human, but compared to the Z Fighters and compared to certain other characters in Universe 7, Roshi doesn't seem to be very powerful. Or yes, Roshi is powerful compared to a normal human, but compared to certain characters in Universe 7, Roshi is weaker compared to certain characters from Universe 7. But Roshi does have the advantage when it comes to experience and skills. And Roshi also did comment in this episode how he's more likely to use trickery and deception compared to his teammates, which means Roshi doesn't get blindsided by opponents that use deception compared to his teammates. So yes, you could say that at least with regards to the 7th Universe team and other characters in Universe 7, Roshi could be considered an example of weak but skilled. And this episode highlighted the weak but skilled approach for Roshi rather well. Roshi might not be the most powerful member of the 7th Universe team, but he's definitely the most experienced and the most skilled. And that proves that skill and experience does have advantages. And I do think Mike McFarland did a great job performing as Roshi in this episode. I think Mike McFarland does a good job with highlighting. I think Mike McFarland does a good job at striking a balance with Roshi. When Roshi was first introduced in classic Dragon Ball, Roshi was shown to be a comical character, and to be fair, classic Dragon Ball was a more comical series compared to Dragon Ball Z, even though Dragon Ball Z still does have its comical moments, mind you. So yes, Roshi was shown to have his comical moments, but he was also shown to have his serious and earnest moments. And I think Mike McFarland does a good job at striking that balance with Roshi. I guess you could say Mike McFarland. I think Mike McFarland is able to show how Roshi could be considered an example of Beware the Silly Ones. And with regards, another impressive feat for Master Roshi in this episode was when he used the Evil Containment Wave. Roshi first used the Evil Containment Wave in classic Dragon Ball during the King Piccolo or Piccolo Sr. sub-saga when he tried to seal Piccolo Sr. like his mentor. Master Roshi tried to seal Piccolo Sr. with the Evil Containment Wave during the King Piccolo or Piccolo Sr. Sub-saga, but he ended up dying after he performed the technique, and Roshi's mentor, the one who created the Evil Containment Wave, Master Mutaito, also died when he performed the Evil Containment Wave. So it definitely stood out because it was in the Piccolo Jr. sub-saga. That was the first time when a character was shown performing the Evil Containment Wave without dying, Kami, in the case of the Piccolo Jr. sub-saga. But in this episode, yes, Master Roshi did not die after using the Evil Containment Wave like he did during the King Piccolo or Piccolo Sr. sub-saga. So that really was an impressive feat for Roshi. It shows how far Roshi came compared to when he first performed the Evil Containment Wave. And yes, we did get to see a heartwarming moment with Master Roshi too. Master Roshi acknowledges that even though he's the teacher of Goku and Krillin, his students still taught him something. And I think that is a nice message. The message is one that some of my own teachers had agreed with. They said that even though they teach their students have taught them something in return. And I think that is a good lesson. Students can teach their teachers too. I think that was a good lesson. Some fans, though, admit that they felt bad that Yamcha didn't get mentioned either, since Yamcha was a student of Roshi's too. Some fans figured maybe it was just because Goku and Krillin were participating in the Tournament of Power, and some fans had figured that maybe it was just because Goku and Krillin were Roshi's first students within the time frame of the classic Dragon Ball series. Yamcha didn't become Roshi's student until later on compared to Goku and Krillin. But I can still understand why some fans feel that it was unfortunate that Yamcha kind of got left out, and I can understand why some fans feel that this highlights how Yamcha seems to be the chew toy or the punching bag among the Z fighters. Now, with regards to some other details about this episode, Master Roshi was definitely the viewpoint character for the episode, but the Universe 4 team also were prevalent in this episode. The main focus of this episode was Master Roshi taking on 3 members of the Universe 4 team and defeating them because of his weak but skilled approach. Or yes, Roshi demonstrated that just because he might be weaker than some opponents doesn't mean that he will still lose. his skills make up for his lack of raw power compared to some other fighters. And we see that with Roshi fighting these 3 opponents from the Universe 4 team. Kawe was shown to use energy weapons like Casorale of the Pride Troopers from Universe 3. And between Kawe and Casorale, I would say that Kawe's use of energy weapons was much more creative compared to Casorale's. And I do think it's unfortunate that Kawe was eliminated from the Tournament of Power so soon because, like I said, I thought that her use of energy weapons was much more creative compared to Casorale. And Derkori also showed a unique fighting style with her Mystic Talisman technique. And her talismans do come from her own energy. But yes, Derkori was about illusions, and that helped to highlight Universe 4 being considered the universe of deception, or deception seems to be the main strength of Universe 4, I guess you could say. Yes, I guess you could say deception is Universe 4's greatest strength. And Derkori's Mystic Talisman technique in particular, with those illusions and that illusion dimension, I think that highlighted the deception strength of Universe 4 very well. And Derkori also ended up giving us a little insight on Universe 4 when she was talking about her home planet. The way she described her home planet kind of reminded me of Yakon's home planet, Yakon being one of Babidi's minions from the Buu saga in Dragon Ball Z. So that does highlight how some different universes can have similarities even if they're not necessarily twin universes. And then the last opponent was Ganos, the Universe 4 spy. You could say he was the Universe 4 fighter that got the most attention before the tournament started, since he was the one who spied on the 7th Universe team and told Catella about Frieza's return, which led to Catella trying to sabotage the 7th Universe team before the tournament even started. So some fans were surprised that Ganos was eliminated from the tournament this quickly, since he seems like he was meant to be the team leader. Or, yeah, a lot of fans got the impression that Ganos was the team leader, or that Ganos was going to be the highlight fighter or the ace fighter for the Universe 4 team, besides the secret fighters. But yes, I can see why they had Ganos fight Roshi. They definitely made it clear that they were going for the age versus youth battle with Roshi and Ganos. Ganos' youth against Roshi's age and experience. And I think Ganos did well to act as a foil for Roshi's age and experience. And Ganos' ability to become stronger when fighting in extreme conditions like the Tournament of Power could have been a real problem if he had lasted long enough in the tournament. So I definitely can understand why he was eliminated when he was, with that power, taking that power into consideration. And it was a good thing that Roshi was the one to eliminate Ganos from the tournament, because yes, Ganos becoming stronger over the course of time, yes, he definitely would have been a challenge even for the likes of Goku. And the pure-blooded Saiyans in particular do have a notable flaw where they are a little too fight-happy or challenge-happy for their own good. In the past, we've seen the pure-blooded Saiyans being willing to let their opponents become more powerful if it means getting a more challenging fight, and that can be detrimental at times. We even saw that in the Tournament of Power, when Goku actually wanted the Maiden Squadron or the Kamikaze Fireballs to transform to get a more challenging fight from them, even though that would have made it harder for the 7th Universe team to win the tournament. But pure-blooded Saiyans do have that flaw about being a little too challenge-happy for their own good, so it was a good thing that Roshi did eliminate Ganos when he did. And while I'm thinking about... and while we're thinking about the Universe 4 team, we did get to see some insight on some of them. Like, some fans did feel, with Ganos does consider Kawe and Derkori to be his friends, not just his teammates. And some fans did find that heartwarming, even though other fans did feel that Ganos' anger at Roshi for eliminating his friends from the tournament was a case of moral myopia, sort of like how Ribrianne was angry at Android 17 for eliminating 2 of her teammates from the tournament. Yes, you could say it could be considered an example of moral myopia because the whole point of the tournament is for a fighter from their to ensure the survival of their home universe. That's the whole point of the tournament. Not to mention, it is fair to point out that the Universe 4 team members were the ones that instigated the fights with Roshi. Roshi didn't instigate the fights. They instigated the fights with Roshi. So you could say Ganos did show some moral myopia there, but some fans still considered it heartwarming that he did care about his teammates and considers them to be his friends. Oh, and speaking of that, Catella, Universe 4's destroyer, also was shown to be a little bit showed more of his unlikable tendencies. Or yes, Catella continues to show himself to be the least likable among the destroyers by being a hypocrite in this episode. Catella accused Roshi of cheating for using the bottle, and some fans will point out that Catella was being a hypocrite for accusing others of cheating because Catella himself is guilty of cheating. Catella did try to, because Catella was spying on the other universes before the tournament even started. And while Catella claimed that there wasn't any specific rule about them not spying, it still led to Catella trying to sabotage the 7th Universe team before the tournament even started. He tried to prevent the 7th Universe team from even having a chance to defend their universe. So yeah, Catella really doesn't have any room to claim moral high ground over cheating when he himself is guilty of cheating. And yeah, some fans, though, have debated about if Catella was right about it being cheating or if Beerus and the Omni Kings were right about it being fair play. Now, if you want my take on it, in the classic Dragon Ball series, during the Piccolo Jr. sub-saga, Kami fought Piccolo in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament. And like I mentioned earlier, Kami had used the evil containment wave on Piccolo, or he tried to use the evil containment wave on Piccolo, but Piccolo reflected the technique back onto Kami. But in any case, Kami did pull out a bottle similar to what Roshi did in this episode, and the World Tournament announcer did say that the bottle was allowed. Or yes, the World Tournament announcer decided that the bottle was allowed because it wasn't a weapon or a healing item. And from what I recall, the Grand Minister's exact words were that healing items and weapons were forbidden, and the bottle really wasn't a weapon, and while an item, it wasn't really a healing item. So I'm more inclined to agree with Beerus and the Omni Kings and the World Tournament announcer with regards to what happened during the Piccolo Jr. sub-saga. The bottle wasn't really a weapon or a healing item, so I would say that it was, it would count as being allowed, and I do think it was just meant to show us Catella being a hypocrite. But yes, the Omni Kings also kind of do highlight how the rules seem to be more guidelines than actual rules because they'll allow certain things if they consider it to be fun. So that's something worth pointing out. Although they still will enforce certain rules. But yes, some rules seem to be more guidelines than actual rules is what some people took away from that scene. And we did get some other heartwarming moments with Beerus, for example. Throughout the course of the episode, Beerus was just calling Roshi old man or other synonyms. After Roshi defeated Ganos, however, Krillin brought up Roshi's name. And after Roshi recovered, thanks to Goku's help, Beerus did inquire Krillin about Roshi's name. And that was pretty heartwarming considering that Beerus had commented earlier that he only really bothers to remember the names of fighters that he considers worthy. Like, he only really seems to bring up Goku and Vegeta's name, and I think Frieza too, yeah, but he never really brought up much of the other fighter's name. Like, he got Krillin's name wrong in this episode, for example, too. So seeing Beerus actually bothering to learn another character's name besides Goku or Vegeta or Frieza was rather heartwarming, I felt. And another heartwarming moment was with Goku. Goku was concerned about Roshi's well-being, and he tried to save his life by restarting his heart with the energy blast. And we actually got to see Goku in despair and also see him hugging Roshi with joy. And that was really heartwarming, and especially because it highlights my issues with a certain joke that some fans like to tell, but I feel the jokes become obnoxious and wore out its welcome. But yeah, because yes, some fans have a habit of constantly insisting that, oh, Goku doesn't care about his family and friends. He just cares about a good fight and doesn't care what happens to his family and friends. And some take it to some use it as a joke, but other fans kind of take it too far and actually seem to believe that Goku doesn't care about his family or friends so long as he gets a good fight. But this episode showed us Goku does care about his family and friends. Goku's not perfect. He does have his flaws, where sometimes letting a good fight or a good challenge can get the better of him, but he really does care about his family and friends even with that flaw. So I did appreciate that for showing us, yeah, Goku does care about his family and friends even with his flaws. That joke that Goku doesn't care about them gets really obnoxious, if you want my 2 cents on that. And I think Sean Schimmel did a great job performing Goku during that scene in particular. Yes, I think Sean Schimmel gave a great performance as Goku during that scene where Goku was worried about Roshi's well-being, and when he tried to restart his heart, and when Goku was showing joy that Roshi was okay. So I thought that was a really good scene too. So I think Sean Schimmel and Mike McFarlane got a chance to really shine in this episode of Dragon Ball Super. And more of the Universe 4 team has been eliminated from the Tournament of Power. But yes, we're still continuing along with the Tournament of Power. But we did get to see Roshi have his chance to shine. So yeah, I would say that probably is about it for now. So like I said, I did appreciate that this episode highlighted how Roshi would be considered an example of weak but skilled, and how Roshi was able to defeat 3 members of the Universe 4 team. It was pretty satisfying to see Catella get knocked down a few pegs, considering what a smug jerk he's been, and how Catella was also very underhanded and probably, yes, the least likable of the Destroyers. So seeing Catella be humbled was pretty satisfying. And like I said, there was also some heartwarming moments with Roshi acknowledging that his students have taught him, and seeing Goku and Krillin concerned for Master Roshi was also heartwarming, especially Goku, because some fans have a bad habit of exaggerating Goku's flaws and acting like his family and friends don't mean anything to him, even though they do mean something to him. Goku does care about his family and friends in spite of his flaws. And yeah, so yeah, I thought this was definitely a good episode to highlight Master Roshi's skill set and show us why Master Roshi was chosen to be a member of the 7th Universe team. But otherwise, I would say that's it for now. So as of this video, we've now discussed the Funimation dub of episode 105 of Dragon Ball Super on this channel. Take care, and until next time.